back to Wild and Free Art. So we're continuing this series on making the dandelion journal, and I've bound all the pages into what will be the hidden spine. And today we're going to make these little tuck spot tab things, which are absolutely cute and adorable. Um, additions to your journal, and they're super fun and easy to make. So let's get started, shall we? So in order to make this, you're going to want some scrapbook paper or book page, whatever it is you want, and you're going to want two different sized circles. So in my case, I don't have a giant circle punch or a circle cutter, so I'm just kind of using what I have on the table, using the tape to basically draw around. And then for the second circle, I'm using my larger paper punch. The first step is to draw and cut out your larger circle. Obviously, you can make these all different sizes, so I'm making mine with the size of the tape because that's what I have. And my book is somewhat small, but if you're making a larger one and you want, you can use bigger circles. In my case, because I hand cut the circle, I am just folding my circle in half and then giving it a trim to make sure it's even on both sides. Obviously, if you're using a circle cutter or a punch, you do not have to do this step. So once your circle is ready and folded in half, you can ink the edges or however it is that you want to distress them. This is all pretty much up to you. Now that the first circle is ready, it's time for the smaller circle. So I'm just using my 2-inch punch here to punch out the other piece of scrapbook paper. And you're pretty much going to repeat the same thing. You're going to fold it in half and ink the edges if that's what you want to do. Once your circles are ready, it's time to glue them together. So you can put them straight, you can put it at the top. I'm choosing to put my circle just a little bit further down on the bottom. And I'm just making sure that the flowers are facing the right direction in this case because it's somewhat directional paper. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to glue the edges of the circles, so the bottom edges of the circles. I also ran a bead of glue up the middle just to add to reinforce the stickiness, and then I just pressed it onto the larger circle and set it aside to dry for a bit. At this point I wanted to decorate it, and so I chose one of the little moths that I've been using throughout the journal. I fussy cut it, added a little bit of that old gauze that I've been using throughout the journal again to create a little cluster, and I glued it all down. Once the cluster is how I liked it, I got my journal and I found the page where I wanted to add the tab. And once I had that, I decided where I wanted it on the page and to make sure I was happy with how it looked. And again, I only glued the bottoms and the middle just to help it adhere so that I could create extra pockets. So you have the pocket in the top and then you have the little pocket on the bottom. At this point, you could leave it as is and just, use it as a tuck spot. But if you wanted to, you can also add an eyelet and add a little dangle at the end. It depends if you decide to, for example, mass make them or whatnot. Then you can just add the eyelet once you put them into the jar. Once you've put the eyelet in, you can then add a charm or a dangle or a piece of jewelry, whatever it is you like that you want to hang off the side. And that is it. Tuck, tab, pocket, all done. I hope that you enjoyed today's super fast tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you did enjoy watching this, I would absolutely love it if you could leave a comment below or subscribe and like the video. I'll see you again soon. In the meantime, happy crafting, everyone. Bye bye.